Welcome back to recommendation time. So, Philip, what is your recommendation for this week?
I actually want to recommend this. I'm not a big fan of horror movies, but was it a horror movie or a thriller? I think it was like a
I think it was a bit of both.
bit of both. But there was this movie we watched at the cinema called The Invisible Man. So it's basically about this girl. She was from, what was that movie she's from again?
Oh, Handmaid's Tale.
Handmaid's Tale. Yeah, I thought she was Australian, but she was actually American. But she in the movie she was married to like a rich billionaire who was like a scientist, and she tries to leave that relationship because he was a very abusive partner. So she ended up leaving him, but somehow the billionaire apparently committed suicide, and then after his death apparently he could stalk her and be wherever she was, and she couldn't see him. So he was doing all these things, and that she was just like freaked out by it, and people didn't believe her. And I feel like it touched on a really important topic and important theme that in today's society, where in people who go through abusive relationships, they when they do try and speak out, no one believes them. And then we saw that in the whole Me Too movement, and I thought that was a really interesting point and interesting theme in the movie.
This funny fact though, did you know that Elizabeth Moss, the one who stars in Handmaid's Tale and this man, do you know she's actually from Scientology?
Oh, is she?
So she's a Scientologist. And the funny thing, when I was watching this movie, I'm not sure if you realized that, I'm like, oh my gosh, like she's getting stalked, like the Scientologists are stalking people who are speaking out. And okay, I'm gonna put a bit of take this a bit to the side, but I was looking up her history because after the movie, I'm a bit interested in what Scientology was trying to say.
Sorry, Siri just activated. Go on.
Oh my gosh. Scientology is
Scientology is
listening.
following us.
But I was actually listening to this YouTube video that was trying to explain what Scientology was. And I'll give you a bit of background. It's a bit weird. It was about this guy. His name is Zenu. Zenu came from a galactic planet where he brought a lot of people to Earth to kill them. And he trapped their souls and he put those bad souls into the world. So this is what the Scientology people believe. But it was just weird how...
Before we go on, did you know Scientology is based on a book?
What do you mean?
So the guy who started Scientology, he was actually an author. And this whole story about
the Zenu thing.
Yeah, it's actually one of his books.
But they turn it into like a cult religion.
Exactly.
Though.
Yeah, that's how it happened.
Oh.
Yeah. So I don't know. Apparently people believe it's real, but...
No, I think that the people who actually got caught up into it, they do believe it's real. Like all religions.
Yeah, of course.
I do believe that Christianity is real. They believe, not shitting on any other religion, but they do believe that Scientology is real. And it's a bit sad, that if I'm not saying it is a cult because I don't want them to come after me, but if it is a cult, it's a bit sad how a lot of people have been trapped due to vulnerability. And on a side note, so I know I'm going a bit too long, but my friend, what I realized that with my friend is that, or anybody in general, the people that usually get messed up into cults or kind of start believing into things is when a lot of people are in very vulnerable states.
Of course. And I do believe that as well. And I think a lot of people get into religion when they are vulnerable. So not even just Scientology, you hear a lot of stories about people who, for example, get sentenced to life in jail and then they find religion. And then people who get cancer who find religion. So I definitely agree with that point.
But back to Elizabeth Moss, it's just funny how the roles that she's playing, like she mentions that the only two things that you shouldn't speak about in a dinner table is religion and politics. But she's playing both of them in The Handmaid's Tale. And then jump forward to Invisible Man, she's playing something which is about stalking or like you can't get away from somebody. So that's what I thought that was really interesting. Maybe she's like crying for help when she's picking these roles.
Maybe, huh?
Blink twice, Elizabeth, if you need help.
But we do have something that we've been looking forward to this whole episode. So everyone is preparing to be locked down in Australia and in America, and
Europe as well.
And Europe, and a lot of playlists on Spotify have popped up about the coronavirus, party playlists. And in China, this actually happened as well. A lot of people in China were streaming from the same playlist and like sharing their playlists, and just pretending at the club and stuff like that. So you've actually put together a playlist of your favorite
Not a
songs.
playlist, but just a recommendation of music.
Yeah, I actually think we should turn this to a weekly thing where you actually add music every
Okay.
week. Because you do love music, and every Friday morning, the first thing you do is like check the New Music Friday playlist.
I love New Music Friday. I don't know why. I think it's like this. It's equivalent to you looking at the new Netflix shows.
I think so, yeah.
When I look at the New Music Fridays, I look at Singapore, Australia, and whatever countries there are, because it's all different, right? But this week on recommendation, I'll call it Tommy Tunes for Lemon Podcast. The first one I want to recommend is Christina Aguilera. So she has been kind of not TMI.
She hasn't been getting any jobs, you mean?
MIA, yeah. She's been MIA from music, and she's been talking about writing an album or producing something for very, very long now. But she did release this week Loyal, Brave and True, and that's for the Mulan soundtrack. So when I listen to the song, and here's a bit of a snippet, I love it. It just was so ethnic. And when she actually performed this song on Jimmy Kimmel, one of them, and she was wearing a beautiful kimono or this Asian outfit. And I was thinking to myself, she better not get dragged for Asian appropriation, because this is not. Because a lot of people tend to do cancel cultures, but it was so appreciated for the movie.
I actually really love that they brought her back to sing on the soundtrack, because she sang on the original soundtrack. Was it the 90s when the movie came out?
Reflections, yes.
Yeah, and so it's really nice that they brought her back to sing on this soundtrack, which is like the lead single from the soundtrack from the movie as well. But yeah, I'm really excited to see the movie when it does come out. It's been postponed because of the virus.
Oh no.
So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, and it's a great song. I got chills listening to it.
And the next song I have up is something which is a little bit different. It's by The Killers. It's called Cautions. So, do you know Mr. Brightside?
Yeah.
That is on like every quotes playlist for the white folks that will get turned to. So here's a bit of a snippet from the song.
I actually really love that you recommended the song, because as we were playing that snippet, listen to it, you actually said that was a reject song from Harry Styles. So it's really cool that you recommended the song. But it is a great song, and The Killers are an iconic band.
But to explain myself, it's because the sound they were going for. It's one of those songs that you can hear at, my name is Thomas, and I'm just a single white boy from this party, and here's my story. Those type of movies,
Yeah.
or very like a
Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Perks of Being a Wallflower, like those kind of 80s Tumblr movies that it's like a perfect theme song for it. That's why I said it was a Harry Styles. But great song, guys, check it out.
Okay, what's the next on your list?
The next one is from the Queen, not the Queen.
Which Queen?
I don't know.
As in Lady Gaga?
No, she's not. So this is from Ava Max, and the song is called Kings and Queens.
Okay,
And
cool.
here's a bit of a snippet. And one thing I wanted to point out too, as soon as I heard this, right, you did say this sounded really familiar.
Yeah.
And it's because when I did a bit of research, it's very similar to two songs from the 80s. Here's the first one by Bon Jovi, You Give Love a Bad Name. And here's another snippet or a sample from Barley Tyler, If You Were a Woman. So both of them sound pretty similar to Ava Max's version.
Actually, it's a great song. I love how she's really tapping into the 80s. And
I did say the 80s were coming back.
and the disco, disco theme. Because her last song that she did, what was it called again?
Sweet But Psycho.
No, the other one.
So Am I.
I think So Am I. It sounded like it was a song from Madonna, Confessions on a Dance Floor.
Oh.
But I'm just wondering, she's sampling so many songs. Is she even making any money?
Probably not. But if I looked at the credits right, there's 9 writers.
I know. I was like, oh
9
my God.
writers.
Does it really take 9 people to write a song?
How did you look at Beyonce's repertoire? One song, I can't remember what it was.
16.
16 writers, and what was it? I can't remember. And
I think it was If You Were a Boy. It was like 16 writers, I think.
But I don't know whether or not some of the writers were credited for being sampled from Barley Tyler or Bon Jovi. So fair enough, it was. But it's interesting how as we are becoming more modern, a lot of people are sampling a lot of old music, which isn't a new thing as well.
I think it's great. I mean, it's like a reintroduction to. I think we spoke on Neutro on the other episode where a lot of old trends are coming back. So I feel like a lot of kids like our age, or kids, adults our age, whatever, are rediscovering the 80s and 90s again. So that's where the influence is coming from. So what is there another recommendation?
No, there's those 3.
Oh, I'm surprised you didn't recommend Rita Ora.
No, not Rita Ora.
You're sick of her being lonely? Because she released a new song called How to Be Lonely. And
I'm not going to recommend this, but we'll just mention about her. She doesn't deserve a recommendation. I'm a bit disappointed in Rita Ora.
You did say it seemed like a reject song from her Phoenix
album. It's nothing that made me connect. That's the word. I wasn't connected with that sound. Like, okay, yeah, sure. But nothing like these 3 songs that really caught my ears or my eyes.
How about we should do this every week? I think we should add songs to this playlist every week.
Okay, and I'll put in some extra songs so it doesn't seem like there's only 3 songs on
Yeah.
it.
So we started our own coronavirus playlist, which will become a weekly playlist thing. But yeah, if you want to follow that playlist and check it out, we will post it in the show notes. So go there and give it a follow and listen to Tom's recommendations.
Yes, please.
Hello, thank you for watching this special video. And if you like what you watch, please make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. But also check out our information down below as well. See you next time.
Bye.